For more, let's bring in our panel tonight. Jeff Santos, radio talk show host in Boston, WWZN. Maria Teresa Kumar, who's the executive director of Voto Latino. And Michael Medved, nationally syndicated conservative radio talk show host, who I can have a conversation with. Michael, Michael, we'll start with you tonight. Are these folks going overboard on this, or are they really bringing up some legitimate concerns about the president speaking to school kids?
I agree with the Department of Education and the White House that a lot of the concerns were legitimate. And I say I agree with the White House and the Department of Education because they changed the curriculum they sent out with the president's speech. Originally, Ed, and I think you know this, originally they had something in there where they were going to assign kids between kindergarten and 6th grade an assignment where you're supposed to write letters to yourself about how I can help President Obama. Now, they changed that because truly the idea that your job as a school kid is to help President Obama. Your job is to succeed in school. It's to help your parents. It's to help your teachers. That's all fine. My suggestion, they could have avoided this whole thing. Have Michelle Obama. She's a nonpartisan figure. She also happens to be African American. Let her speak to the school kids and inspire the kids. None of this reaction would have happened if the First Lady had done this.
Jeff Santos, your thoughts on this entire ordeal?
I tell you, Ed, you're going to have to expand your Psycho Talk segment to 30 minutes with this garbage that they're throwing out there. I got to tell you, it is amazing. I want to have these right-wingers tell the kids in South Side of Chicago who wait in line with their parents to vote for Obama, their hero, that they can't hear him. Or the kids that worked with Claire McCaskill's kids who told her to vote for McCaskill, to vote for Obama instead of Hillary Clinton, that they can't hear him. Or the kids in Lawrence, Massachusetts who are Latino who couldn't do it. It's ridiculous. He should speak to these kids. He should tell them to stay in school, and he should tell them that they can have a chance at the American dream if they continue to read, write, and do arithmetic like everybody else can.
Maria, let me ask you, as a Latina woman, how do you feel this, if it does? Maybe I'm overplaying it. I'll ask you, does this affect minorities? I mean, does this a special message to kids of color in this country? What do you think?
We have a huge education gap in this country. Close to 51% of Latinos and African Americans drop out by high school. The fact that we have a strong American, quintessential American, who is middle class, went to the Ivy Leagues, is now president of the United States, and also not a C student, then you too can be president message. But instead of saying, you know, you are strong, this is the kind of fortitude that we need within our president, and that's the type of leadership that kids need to hear. And I tell you, Ed, I think the more parents that tell their kids not to watch the president, the more the curiosity kicks in and says, you know what, I kind of want to see what he says, because mom doesn't want me to watch it.
Here's what bothers me about this, because President Obama is an academic guy. He'll read books before he'll watch television. He'll read books before he'll watch a sporting event. I know the guy well enough. I've heard him talk about how he first went into the White House in the Lincoln bedroom. He couldn't believe that there was a TV set there. There should have been some books there. He said that when he was on the stump campaigning. But here's what I really respect about it. He wanted the kids to write the White House to engage in something different, Michael, than video games and watching television or sitting on the couch getting fat or doing whatever, engaging their mind. And it might aspire them to a higher level, their self-esteem. Hey, I wrote a letter to the President of the United States, and gosh, I got to return back. And you know, what's wrong with that?
You're misstating the original curriculum. I got the original curriculum. It was on the Department of Education website. It was sent out to teachers. I found out about this initially from teachers who complained to me about it. And the original curriculum didn't say write a letter to the White House. It said write a letter to yourself with your promises of how you will help President Obama. Now, it sounds partisan.
Sure,
I understand that the intentions for this, might be very, very positive. But the fact that they're positive intentions,
they're not asking for political strategy. They're asking to help the country.
School kids of America have no difficulty.
What they're asking the kids to do is how you can help the country, how you can help yourself.
He's on
not
TV
political
every day.
strategy, how to beat the Republicans. This is ridiculous.
All right, Maria, I want your take.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think what he's basically saying in a generation that keeps growing up surrounded by a lot of materialism and saying me, the president wanted people to reflect and say, well, you could be 5 years old, but how can you help? How can you make the world and your community a better place? There's nothing wrong with instilling those values in our
instilling the
making sure that we're
values and
providing
say then how you can help the country, not how you can help one specific leader. That's why people say that this resembles a cult of the personality.
He's the president of the United States. They look up to the president. They don't know who their senator is or somebody who's a member of the state representatives.
Your
panel, ask not what you can do for your country, right?
Ask what you can do for your president?
Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, correct? I mean, look, I just take it as the president was trying to inspire some kids to do something other than sit down and play a video game. Panel, great comments tonight. Stay with us.